Hey, my name is PolishLynx, and welcome to Sunrider Liberation Day Return. So basically, Asaga's route, Ava's route, and Ikari's route, and also Claude's route, which is a hidden route, completed. We are left with Sola's route, and this route contains 4 endings. A lot? Yes. I'm not sure if I will be able to actually get all of these in one go of recording, but well, let's give it a shot. By the way, in case if someone is fresh to the series here, basically what's the dialogues that I had already, so in the previous episodes, are being skipped. Only the fresh ones, which I haven't seen at all, will be, well, continued in the game. And basically the order I went with in the game, so basically Ava, Asaga, Ikari, Claude, and now Sola. I think that's actually the order of the girls appearing in the first Sunrider, so I might be wrong with this, but I think that was the order. But, well, never mind that. Or maybe Claude was first and not Ikari? Never mind. Alright, Sola, let's go. The only person who would ever believe this crazy story would be a fellow time traveler, Sola. She was the most knowledgeable about lost technology out of everyone on the ship, and from what he could remember, Sola was the one who told him the truth about Claude, meaning he had less to explain to Sola compared to the others. We are going to our resistance lost technology expert. Come on, let's go find Sola. Okay, Captain! And so we went, and T-minus 64 hours, Liberation Day Massacre, 27 hours until she enters the mindstream. She'd been to Sola's quarters to check whether she was alone. Thankfully, he found her sitting by Sola on a table, reading a holo. Psst! Sola? Huh? She looked up with curiosity at her unexpected visitor. Sorry for interrupting, but we kind of have an emergency here. Is that so? Yeah. This is going to be sudden, but I already know that you and Claude are time travelers. In fact, I'm a time traveler myself now, and I've arrived from the future. After we explain all of this, there's another Kaito Shields in my office right now, who's the captain in this timeline. We've traveled back in time, from the future, to prevent a disaster from occurring. 3 days from now, after we've successfully liberated Sierra, a mass assassination will occur during the victory celebration. Okay, that wasn't an assassination, I already explained this. Assassination is usually quiet. This was mass murder, really. Loud, very loud. Where the entire top alliance military leadership will be murdered by, you know who, Shigara obviously, a prototype sleeper agent. We have to do everything in our power to prevent the tragedy from occurring, or else it will spark a war between the Solar Alliance and Pact so huge, it will threaten to end humanity as we know it. Sola took in every he said wordlessly, not even a flicker of doubt on her face. Understood. I shall aid you in this endeavor. She closed her holo and stood. Shield sighed in relief. He knew that Sola was cool-headed, but to actually see her readily accepting his ridiculous story, without a trace of doubt, brought unspeakable relief to Shield's mind. Maybe they had a... Without warning, Sola rolled to the floor and reached under her bank. Before Shields could make a move, Sola faced Claude with a pistol in her hand. Shield stands. Shit, had he relaxed too soon? What was going on? Captain, this woman is not who you think. Sola... She's working with the prototypes. Shields backed away from Claude, upon hearing this latest revelation. What? Ara... Come to think of it, he knew next to nothing about Claude, except for what he could glean from his fragmented memories of the future. Why did she send him back to the past, and what was her goal here? Is Sola telling the truth? Meh. Partially, the Claude trial currently in this universe is aligned with the prototypes, yes. But that was me in the past. Poor Claude's turned a new leaf now, I'm fighting for the good guys. Wait, so mean there's another Claude too? Yeah, just like your doppelganger in your office. There's another Claude in the sick bay right now. Well, that complicates things. I need some answers, Doctor. Why were we working for the prototypes during this time period? A simple alignment of interests, that's all. I sought to ride the galaxy around you, just like the prototypes, but after the Liberation Day massacre occurred, I realized our interests diverged. That's when I left the prototypes and took matters into my own hands. The prototypes wanted what? Yeah, they sought to make you the leader of humanity, and to control you as a puppet, so that they would rule in your stead, but... let's just say that the plan never quite panned out, due to division within the prototypes themselves. That's quite a lot to take in. I was fine with helping the prototypes accomplish that, but then the massacre happened. Alright, I trust you, Code. I don't trust you yet, but we're still going to have to work together. I would trust her, but we have to go. I don't trust you, sorry. The captain doesn't trust workload. Look, you've been mysterious from the moment you set foot on the ship. You're probably acting with an ulterior motive right now, just like you always have in the past. Sola, you can put the gun down. No matter the circumstances, we're going to have to solve this together. We don't have the time to fight amongst ourselves. Understood. Sola put the gun down, but kept it holstered just in case. For now, our common goal is to prevent the Liberation Day massacre from occurring. We can worry about who was working for who after the immediate crisis has been averted. Now, he had to put their next course of action into motion. Unfortunately, he hadn't given his part much thought himself. It looked like he would just have to come up with something on the fly based on the fragmented memories he had of the chain of events which led to the Liberation Day massacre. So basically, Shigara will enter the prototype's mindstream tomorrow, during the battle for Sira. It will be at that moment when the prototype's leader will embed herself into Shigara's mind in order to mind control her during the victory celebration, and not that she will actually fight with that mind control at all. We must take every action to ensure that she does not enter the mindstream. Seems like a simple enough solution. From what I can remember, she, as she is now, would be utterly incapable of killing a single insect, much less a room full of people. You don't know that? The sole cause of her actions that day was her body being controlled by the leader of the prototypes. Well, but she didn't really oppose it, who we had all presumed to have died on the Nightmare Ascendant. If we were to simply prevent her from being mind-controlled, then the massacre would never happen. I see. Then we must capture her within 24 hours and ensure she does not enter the mindstream tomorrow. However, the entire situation is not so elegant, as simply removing her from action during the Battle of Syria may vastly alter the course of history as well. So has point. In fact, our ultimate liberation of Syria hanged on her entering the mindstream, release Fontana's fleet from the control of the prototypes, which was precisely the thing which we are now trying to prevent. Meaning, we have to find another way to ensure that Fontana can retain control of his fleet tomorrow. Without her, we'll just have to make up the plans as we can. Unfortunately, I was dropped into this time about 2 hours ago, so we haven't had much time to formulate the daily course of action. Very well, I shall see what can be done to limit the chief's movements without rousing her suspicions. Do you know what? We don't really need to go to the... Okay, you don't know about it probably if you are new to this series, so I won't spoil the thing now. First, we must head to research and development. The lab? Why? Sola leaned into him and whispered, I merely sought to distract the doctor's attention a moment while I discuss a certain matter with you. There is still a large problem. Problem? What kind of problem? The future cannot be changed so easily. What do you mean? But before Sal could continue, the ship's klaxon sounded. Red alert! And the fleet made its move. Not now. Alas, I must sortie. Okay, we don't have a choice. We've got to predate ships along. Fontana, we best make ourselves scarce. The real you's supposed to be on the bridge. If you do get discovered anywhere else during the battle. Alright, let's go. The 3 of them run and we... Fair! No. I shall return. Yeah. Sola, come back safely. She will. Recollection coming back. Yeah, okay. We know the battle and so on. Boom, boom, boom. Everything happened. We hide and everyone fights, and yeah, someone appears on the freaking board. We have to save the crewman from the robot that appeared, and unfortunately our normal weapons are not enough, so we grab the pistol and fall back, and with that the one of the door is closed. However, the drone actually is capable of destroying it. So basically Claude appears with an RPG, but she messes up, and then we take the RPG and boom, we win. Wow. That was nice. Yeah, now we got out and so on. Claude is here. We had fun. And okay, we find Sola waiting for them beside the Seraphim's maintenance bay. Okay. I have returned. Unfortunately, I have already banged my first point to put the chief out of commission. During the battle, Liberty sustained a hit to its shoulder, maneuvering Gale, putting it in an uncontrolled path towards the Paxal ship. While such an incident appeared a perfect opportunity to thwart the prototype's plans without rousing any unwanted attention, the other Claude of this timeline managed to use the Bianca's graphic gun at the last moment to save the Liberty. Note that the prototype puts the other Claude on board the ship to ensure that Shikara remains alive and can foster an intimate relationship with the other Kaito shields. I spun my head to Claude. Is this true? Well, yeah. The old me is on board the ship to ensure that she gets as close as possible to the other Kaito shields, so that the prototypes figure out how to control him. You know, even though I still don't get why he fell for her. Never will understand that, definitely. Like I said, though, the whole part where she guns down a room full of people was due to infighting within prototype's own ranks. That was never part of my mission at all. Alright, I understand. Don't worry, so. Besides, I don't want to do something as drastic as arrange her ultimately death right now. Our mission is to simply capture and hold her for the remainder of the battle, so she can't enter the mainstream. We don't have to kill her. Very well. In that case, the situation from the battle presents an opportunity. I remember, after the battle, Shigara was admitted into sickbay with minor injuries. If we hurry, we could nab her while she's still asleep in sickbay. Now, Sola's still right that we can just remove her from the battle and expect everything to turn out the same way. I explained to Sola my prior realization about the Trojan mirrors embedded in Fontana's ships. I see. Then removing her from the battle will all but guarantee our nearly demise at the hands of the prototype fleet. I've been giving it some thoughts. I could send an encrypted FTL message to Fontana warning him about the virus. That way, he can prepare a countermeasure right away to retain control of his ships. At the very least, he could pull back so the prototypes can't use his ships against us. To use the FTL confo, I'll need to sneak in my office, while the other Kaito ships are occupied somewhere else. And now, I can spoil a bit. We don't really need to use the FTL that is in your room, because there's another FTL near the generator, and if we go there... No, not near the generator, but, well, in the other place of the ship. And I'm pretty sure no one would be there. So we should go there, actually. That's a fact. Alright. There's another matter. If we were to simply kidnap her from sickbay, it would only be a matter of time until someone notices her disappearance. Given the duration we must hold her, we must find a way to prevent anyone from realizing she has gone missing. We just take the risk. Or this is a certain body. Alright, this time we are going to the risk again. And very well. Okay, so here's the plan. Going to the sickbay, distract this amnesic Claude, while Sola sneaks in and wheels Shigara's medical trolley away. Remember, check if it's well oiled, because, you know, that old geezer, Admiral Grey, is always late because his wheelchair is not oiled properly, and, you know, that's why he's late. So, yeah, check if her wheels are oiled in order to sneak out quietly. You two will take Shigara to crew quarter 8, which is currently unoccupied, and when I arrive, I'll try to beat a hasty retreat as soon as I can. Once we've regrouped, Claude will use the floor access hatch to relocate Shigara to maintenance room D4, while Sola runs to the mess hall and calls the other Kaito shields out on the comm. I'll then use that chance to sneak into my office and send Fontana the encrypted call. Very well, then two of us shall head to the sickbay, while Claude stands by its crew quarter 8 for my arrival. Alright, let's do this. And Sola and Shields made their way to the sickbay. So, I'm guessing there's a reason why you sent Claude away. Indeed, there is more to the solution than you are likely aware of. I only have an incomplete understanding of the complexity of time travel, but the thinkers of my time postulated that writing the course of history by traveling back in time was neither possible or advisable, for when history is changed by an appreciable degree by outside agents not belonging to the timeline, the universe they occupy will simply collapse. What? So that doesn't sound good. Indeed, our current mission appears futile, as even we are successfully in thwarting the Liberation Day massacre. Our efforts will be in vain, as this entire universe will simply cease to exist. But for what purpose did Claude bring me here then? I do not know. But perhaps it would be best if we were to leave history unchanged. While the Liberation Day Massacre certainly sounds like a horrific event, it simply does not compare its magnitude to the collapse of an entire universe. Sola, but... Shit, what the hell is God thinking then? Does really have some ulterior motive for bringing me here? I did not mean to disturb you, I'm sorry. No, but thanks for bringing this up. There is one more thing. What is it? I have had a vision of another universe. Of course, leading me to speculate that there are an infinite number of other universes where the situation may be different, as it were. Sola, I have no idea what you're talking about. This is neither here or there, but in the particular universe I glanced at it, appeared, we were, where? Nothing at all. I know, I understand, don't worry. We are going now, if I don't tell you what ending, but we'll see. Maybe something like that will appear. But my translocation across two different universes does appear to suggest that perhaps even if this universe collapses, we could translocate into another universe, linked to a number of different possibilities. Sorry, I'm not quite following this, Sola. Time travel really isn't my forte. Well, time traveling would be your thing because of Claude's ending. Oh yes. By the way, the best ending. If you haven't seen it, just go back one episode. You don't even need to look very far. Link in the description. There is a link to the previous video, so yeah. The best ending, really. We still don't know everything about time traveling. Let's keep on and see if we can discover what Claude's after here. Understood. Meanwhile, this piece of crap is annoying as always, and Ava basically does her job. But this piece of crap, I mean the old Kato. Alright. Claude. You know, Shigara is such a piece of crap. Seriously, I don't want to be with her. Why even you suggest that? Well, that's the gist of what he was talking about, to be honest. Try to steal the holo. We need it very much. So we take it and march out, and we take a look, and you know, and take a look. Alright, now you're back. As you can see, the plan went exactly as planned. He saw Shigara tied up to chairs, still unconscious from the sedation. We were waiting for the captain. Come on, let's move on phase 2 and relay that warning to Fontana. Wait. There's something we need to resolve before that. We pulled out the holo. I found this in your old self's office. Oh, that's just my old holo. I used it to communicate the prototypes while I was working with them. Captain, I hope you're still not suspicious of poor old Claude. That's actually not what I'm worried about this time. It's this. Shields open the final file and show it to Claude. The future can only be saved by destroying everything. Actually, Sola already has a basic idea of how time travel works, and according to her, changing the future is impossible. So what does all of this mean for us? Looks like you finally discovered the hard part of this mission. It's pretty complicated to explain, but the skinny of it basically, if we were to succeed in this mission toward the Liberation Day Massacre, both this universe and the past universe where we came from will collapse and cease to exist, and that's actually what she said already. But let's continue. As it turns out, the space-time continues really sensitive to time paradoxes and resolves them quite forcefully. Collapse, you mean we'll all die anyway if we win? Then what the hell is the point of the end of this? Oh, you're thinking like a human. No, you will simply be wiped from existence. Dying is a natural phenomenon which must inevitably happen to all life forms, but is an entirely different concept from never existing at all. You traveled here from the future in which the Liberation Day Massacre occurred in order to prevent it, but if you succeed in your mission, the Kaito shields who traveled back in time would cease to exist, as the massacre now never takes place. So then who would be the man who stopped the massacre? A true logical conundrum. In other words, a time paradox. So then is the future really impossible to change? The future can be changed. That's why I brought you here. At the end of the journey, you must make a choice. Either you stop the Liberation Day Massacre from occurring and avert the tragedy which befalls upon everyone, and destroy this universe and the universe you came from, and replace them with the new universe you create through your decision. Or you let the massacre occur, accept the tragedy, then this universe will remain untouched and connect with your timeline. The universe you know will continue to exist for the better or worse. So you are telling me, if I go through this, with this, everyone I know will vanish from the face of the universe, but then the universe will copies of those same people will be created. That's the gist of it, yeah. And that is the reason why I brought you here. The key here is that the law of causality does everything in its power to resolve time paradoxes, and it does that by deleting the universe where the paradox occurs, and then creating a new universe which can then logically continue to exist from that point on. In this case, you and everyone in this universe, as well as everyone in the universe where the massacre occurred, would be wiped from existence, thus eliminating the time paradox. But then a new universe where the massacre never occurred would be born, and everyone would still exist in that universe, completely oblivious to the fact the massacre even occurred, or that there was a desperate mission to prevent it. Then, we can still save everyone by creating a new universe, where the massacre isn't prevented, but simply never existed at all. Ah, now you are understanding how this all works, Captain. I'm beginning to understand the nature of time travel. If a time paradox occurs, the unbinding law of causality simply destroys the universe where the paradox occurs and creates a new one without the paradox, a simple solution to dealing with a logical impossibility. Basically, in this circumstance, I intentionally sought to create time paradox in order to manipulate the law of causality into destroying the universe you don't want and into creating the new you do want. Well, it was pretty drastic, but it's not like there's anyone out there who can stop me, so it's pretty convenient, this little quirk that the law of causality has. I've been using it to create an entire universe for... I forgot. I'm immortal. Who knows how long I've been doing this. Anyways, now that your choices have been laid out in front of you, I want to watch you choose. Kaito Shields, hero of the galaxy. This is the entire reason why I brought you here. All of this is so I can watch you more. I want to watch you run around, fighting desperately against impossible odds. I want to see the tears in your eyes when you fail, the euphoria coursing through your veins when you're victorious. The bigger the stakes, the more torture to dilemmas. The mightier your enemies, the more I want to see you fight, because it brings me so much more pleasure. Seeing you in action. Her entire body flashed bright red as she squirmed her legs. I think I might have come a little... Glad you bastard. Coming by yourself. No, she's thanked me, just like always. Come think of it, was there ever a moment when she wasn't playing like a fiddle with me? Alright. We are in this too deep now. So let's go! Alright, let's skip because that little piece of crap will wake up in a second and so on. Wait, what? What's with the angry face on? What's with the angry face? Well, alright, that's the same thing from what I noticed. She unfortunately woke up. Oh, no. And Marines are here, and we are captured again. And they try to get anything from us, but they are too stupid. Ava, please believe in my words. Will you? Yes! It's again Ava who is on our side as well. That's right. Alright. He entered life but 46 hours before the Liberation Day massacre and 10 hours before that little girl enters the mainstream. We entered the life pod 15 as told by Ava and found her and Sola waiting inside. Captain, I feared for the worst when you were captured. Luckily the commander saw reason once she examined the contents of the hole and hatched this plan to rescue you. Obviously. It is thanks to her that we are reunited here. Alas, seeing you safe brings you such joy to my heart. Their torment with our times together are so fleeting. Just then, a certain pink-haired did poke her head out from the front of the escape pod as well. Yeah, looks like you made it out of the break alive, Captain. Blood. Damn it, just where did you vanish to? Remember, I can't be put in a situation where I'll be forced to use my powers. When the Marines appeared, I activated my convenient cloaking device and temporarily fell back. It's more fun for me if you figure things out for yourself, Captain. Also, safer for the space-time continuity. There, please treat me like a normal girl. Using my powers and get out of his mess is strictly forbidden. Damn it, Claude, I bet she has some trick up her sleeve, which would let us avert the massacre here and now. But I guess she has a point. Using her powers is outright dangerous, considering what we've learned about the law of causality. For now, we are stuck with what Claude can accomplish without her powers, time powers. Now that they were safely hidden away from the ship's various security features, Ava finally managed to relax. They sat down alongside each other inside the pod. Thanks for boosting me out of the brick. You're really Kaito, aren't you? Yeah, that I am. I'm afraid I'm the same Kaito Shields who scrubbed the entire swimming pool with you during Advanced Academy because all the other members of the student council quit. Then, what are you saying about the future is indeed the truth? I'm afraid so. Really. At one point, I would really love to continue from the point where we were. That future got fucked up. But on the other, I would really love to continue from the close ending. God damn it. Actually, I would love to continue from all the endings, from the all happy endings. Alright, because it would be great. I have disobeyed a direct order from my superior officer by bringing here. If I'm caught, I expect I'll be stripped of my rank and confined in the brick myself. But the threat the Liberation Massacre represents to the safety of Sierra. No, the entire galaxy is so grave that I can no longer in good conscience follow the other Captain Shields down his path. The evidence inside of the hollow proves without question that our chief is a prototype. We must detain her. Sola has filled me in about the details of the situation. You must know this timeline better than anyone else, Kaito. What are our options? Shields racked his brain for ideas. First things first, we had to warn Fontana about the virus before putting Shigara out of commission. I could still sneak into my office and send the message, but now that the ship's on high alert, that's going to be nowhere as easy as before. Judging from the fact that my security clearance has not been revoked yet, it appears that nobody has realized I have set you free. I could simply try issuing an order to security distract them. As for capturing her, I'm also out of options now that the prior kidnapping was a bust. I could try and convince him herself that she's prototype and get him to detain her, but it's a total long shot at this point. Come to it, there's another option. When she enters my stream, Masanga goes better and kills her in my timeline. If we just change the course of events so that we can get this universal Sangha to kill her before she has a chance to commit the massacre. But this is murder we're talking about here. Shield's chest chilled at his own thoughts. The safety of the entire galaxy is at stake, but to actually arrange the murder of my own chief engineer, not to mention, if this is by my own hands, then I'm fine with it. Once again, his memories of her came flooding back to him. I couldn't care less. His chest twitched at the thought of not killing his... That never happened. Granted, she had been a spy sent to win these affections from the very beginning, but Shields was still certain the massacre was her doing. She had merely been mind control with her knowledge during that time, and she couldn't fight that because she didn't want to. Certainly, she needed to be captured, but to be only captured isn't the only option. Not only that, but Saga was merely distraught girl in this timeline. Her attack on her was a moment of desperation brought on by mental fatigue after multiple awakenings. To use her as like a puppet to murder her former worst friend in cold blood. Sorry, but I'm kind of in Kaito's shoes. So, for me, he was his worst friend. Sorry. I totally don't get how he could fall for her again. He knew that if he went down this path, he would no longer be worthy of being this ship's captain. In his own eyes, at least. I mean, come on. And besides, the life with her would be so boring. But this is the safety of the entire galaxy we're talking about. What do I do? It allows you to ask for advice. Tomorrow Saga will attack the Alberta while Shigara's inside the mine stream. If we just find PolishLynx a little, I think we could change the future by having a flag kill Shigara. What do you think, so? Indeed, the Queen's mental condition has deteriorated substantially due to her unrequited love for this universe's Kaito Shields and her multiple powerful awakenings. It would not strike me as odd at all if she were to attack her during the battle. No, I was asking about what would you would think of me if I were to use Saga to kill Shigara, so... Could you still call me captain if I were to do such thing? It is ultimately Asaka's decision. If that is what the Queen of River desires, then I should accept it. As for you, Captain, your actions will avert the massacre, as well as spare the galaxy of a bloody war between the Alliance and Pact. I will look upon you as proudly as I have always done regardless of the decision. A leader must bear the weight of his decisions, no matter the burden. Alright, thanks. We kill her! Or we capture! Obviously we capture her. First we sneak him off his attack, then comfort him where Skyter shields together convince him today. Sneak, Claude swap with Claude on Bianca, tomorrow shot, alright, no. Alright, we capture, that's okay. Convincing the opponent to change his mind will be difficult. I know, don't worry. I will beat some sense into him. As suspected, pair of Marines going to figure out. Alright, that's basically the same thing. It's just the difference who will fight, right? Yo, beauty boy. Yeah, that's what happened. What we called him in light words when he first hung up and got angry a bit. So basically, yeah, we took the Marines, now they appear again, and then the past Kato appears, and Ava trying to talk sense into him. Sola again. Okay, as for provide the break. Captain, I fear you have become a corruptible private influence. You must open your eyes and listen to the advice of your comrades. We are here to help you. We don't wish to see you in pain again. You do Sola, what? It's useless, he's falling completely. Alright, and now time to beat him up. Obviously, the left straight again, and now we are talking about the nightmare he has and so on. And now he's back to normal. That little piece of crap is detained, okay. Just as he was about to enter the mask hall, he saw Sola lurking behind the gate, peering into the hall. Captain! Not quite, it's me, Future Shields. Can't say I'm the captain of the ship at this particular moment. To me, you will always be the captain in my timeline. In any timeline. What are you doing, hiding here? Is something the matter? No, I was merely observing a certain encounter. Encounter? Shields leaned his face into the mask hall as well. He saw the other Kaito Shields talking with Saga. A certain maiden seems to confess her feelings. Wait, you mean that Asaga telling the other Kaito Shields that she liked him? That is so. No matter his response, this is something she must do before this battle, for the sake of the future. In my version of events, Asaga never could confess her feelings to me until it was too late. I'm glad things turned out this way instead. In the end, the other Kaito Shields merely smiled and patted Asaga on the head before walking away. She got rejected? But I guess it's only the logical outcome. After all, this universe's Kaito Shields was head over heels for that piece of crap known as Shigara up until just a few hours ago, and was never rescued by Asaga. God damn it. Why did he fall for the worst girl possible? Asaga put on the brave smile despite being no doubt broken, and marched out of the mess hall towards the lift deck, to deck 2, no doubt to practice more on the simulator before the final battle. Unfortunate, yet such may be life. Now Asaga's feelings have reached resolution. While this may not be the outcome she desired, she is strong enough to accept his answer. I'm sure she will find happiness, one day. I'm sorry, I did not mean to take your time. Meh, I was just here to grab something to eat. Hungry? Are you hungry? Huh? Perhaps I am in need of some refreshments as well. Then let us dine together. Alright, let's go. Sorry. No doubt, rumors of the captain's doppelganger had already spread to the four corners of the ship. When Shields entered the mess hall, went completely silent as every single pair of eyes turned to him. Shields just laughed and waved. Hey everyone! Second Kaito Shields you've heard so much about. Relax, nothing comment, so you can keep eating without coming to attention. But it's not how you lot even do that in the first place. With laughter, the crew returned to their conversations, the atmosphere instantly returning to normal. I did not expect the crew to accept you so readily. Don't worry, they are still my men at the moment. These are still my men and women. But we don't really see men at the place. We know only about women. Alright. The past year we've crashed a royal wedding, rescued a 2000-year-old Ruvian, and now learned the chief engineer was the prototype. Nobody's even gonna bet an eyelash at the future Kaito Shields. I see. Shields went to the bar and looked through the day's menu. Hey, Ruvian cuisine? Looks like you're in luck for some home cooking. Huh? Probably not quite as good as you remember, huh? I'm afraid it's all roughly syrup-filled Ruvian food. Probably tastes nothing like the real deal. Maybe you should help out the mess up. Help make the taste more authentic. No, I'm afraid I'm a poor chef. I have no culinary knowledge beyond what firepower berries are edible and how to roast fish and wildlife. Sounds like a pretty tough life. We thought the Ruvians all had advanced technology beyond what we can imagine. Sounds like that wasn't really the case though. That is the truth. The Ruvians Empire was far from monolithic. Instead, it was a cobblestone of thousands of conquered nations and vassals. In order to retain power, technology was held by the powerful. I have no doubt that average Ruvian was far worse off than today's Alliance citizen. I provided for myself for most of my life, until I was taken in by the royal family. I gathered my food from the wild, like the majority of the peasants. Doesn't sound easy. The first cold stew is not bad. Pretty sure the Union delivered us a live batch last week. Then I shall partake. The two of them received their food and sat down on the table. So, how exactly do you find that Claude was a time traveler? You mentioned something about a vision earlier, right? Yes. Recently, I had a strange dream. No, perhaps more a vision, as it was far too real. I saw another version of myself, as well as you, Captain. I speculate I may have fallen into another universe far different from our own. Most likely an episode orchestrated by our doctor for purposes I do not fully understand. The experience was quite illuminating on a number of different matters. Sounds like it does explain quite a number of things about Claude. Yes, precisely so. Sola, something the matter? Your face is kind of red. This stew is exceptionally hot now. It makes the perspiration form all over my face and down my back. Oi, Sola, you saw something in the vision, didn't you? What I saw was of no consequence whatsoever to the security of the ship. Certainly not a matter of we need to ruminate on. It's obviously bothering you. Come to think of it, you've been acting strange around me recently in my timeline too. Although this Sola has no idea, she's been acting unusually friendly ever since my rescue and in the desert. Anyways, you are free to say the things you want now. We don't live in a military dictatorship any longer. In fact, every Syrian is proud of the freedoms we want from the new empire. Our civil liberties were won only through the blood of the martyrs. Those liberties won't exist unless we choose to exercise them. Understood. I'm afraid this matter is far baser than such lofty ideals, however. Sola took a large bite out of her coat. The truth of the matter is as I nearly committed. I'm sorry. With that, Sola beat a hasty escape, leaving her half-eaten soup on the table. Hey, Sola! Sola marched out of the mess hall and disappeared down the hallway. Run for it! Unbelievable. Why can't she be more honest about her feelings? She stood and followed after her. I gotta go after her. After narrowing down the most likely places where Sola would go to collect herself, Shields ended up taking the lift to the Sunrider's observation deck, and let's face it, this is a freaking great view. This was the highest point of the ship, and surrounded by neo-glass windows. From here, lookouts and optical equipment could navigate the stars and detect ships even if the ship lost power. Of course, the whole deck was sealed during battle so that it would not pose a threat to hull integrity. Stars surrounded Shields as he looked around for Sola. On the opposite end of the observation deck was Syrah, a glistening blue orb. He spotted Sola staring off into space. As expected, she found tranquility here, surrounded by the enormous blankness of space. Ahem! You have followed me. I have. After all, you wanted me to chase after you, right? I'm sorry. It appears I have become... I need to screen this, so sorry. It appears I have become a difficult woman. While I have always sought to be a cool-headed and reasonable individual my whole life, I'm afraid this is the one matter which makes my heart waver and my mind run in circles. My heart ached so much I could no longer face you. Yet, my feelings are a betrayal of my queen, and ultimately moot, as this timeline will be raised from existence upon our mission's end. I am merely wasting our time and endangering the mission by even pondering these possibilities. These thoughts will merely make my aim falter, will cloud my awakenings. I must strive to be as pure as the... Shields longed for Sola and wrapped his arms around her. He pushed Sola's chin up. She closed her eyes and slightly parted her lips. He leaned in, and their lips met. It's not like you to talk so much, and I don't really see the problem anyways. Asaga properly confessed her feelings to my other self and received a rejection. In this timeline, her feelings received a clear answer before they twisted into hate. Besides, isn't her romance with the other Kaito shields anyways? And moreover, Claude told us that this universe will be recreated once our mission's over. It doesn't necessarily mean everything will be lost. In fact, we could just as likely re-emerge in the next universe together with our feelings intact. I am sorry, I am merely complicating your situation. To trust my emotions upon you, when you have so recently been wounded by the one you loved. I never loved her, okay? I'm truly a weak woman. Oh, you aren't. Such a being is undeserving of standing at your side. Oh, stop it. No! I got a second chance to make everything right. And I'm going to save her this time now, too. She may be a spy and she may have been sent to play with my feelings, but I know she was never aware of these directives herself. She is completely innocent as well. Everything was the product doing. So I'm not going to be on the floor, rolling in despair. Not when I have a chance to make things right again. So you don't have to worry about me, Sola. I'm fine, actually. I'm doing better than fine. Right now, I feel like standing on the top of the world, because I have a pretty girl like you by my side. Speaking such shameless words, you truly know how to embarrass me. Well, your captain was never one for subtlety. Indeed, it is so. Then, if the matter is settled... Sola stood on her tippy-toes and closed her eyes again. She wrapped his arm around her back and pressed her lips together. Once more. The two kissed, silhouetted by the faint blue light of a million stars. Sola's body untensed, her pent-up emotions finally released. The two of them stared at the stars. Well, Shields had monthly caught a respite thanks to elections and biggest crisis, yeah. So this guy was talking on the bridge again and so on, and we'll have a red alert already. Okay. The Nightmare Ascendant appeared, and they have to fight, and Fontana is fighting again with the Trojan he had. Kaito, past Kaito, no get back. Blackjack is running away, but you know what? Is inside? That little poor girl, not poor girl, but that little piece of crap known as Shigara is trying to escape. But she's being stopped, and that's right. The reactor of the Blackjack is taken away, and now, yeah. Asaga somehow can't really go into fighting now, which sure is a problem. Fontana is in the action, and they fight again. Sola's awakened, same as before. Ikari is fighting as well, the Ascendant in slapping. Sola down shots in the glass shuriken. But you know, her awakening is like not a full awakening, because only one eye is lightened. So that's kind of problematic. I wonder what's the reason for this. Not pure blood or something? While Asaga is pure blooded and, you know. Wait, what? Now is... Oh right, okay, there was something like that. No, I thought that time changed. Already the universe collapsed and so on, but it's not that. So yeah. And look at this! The guy whose wheelchair is not oiled properly appeared late as always. Piece of crap. I don't like that guy. He should end up with that little girl, seriously. That would be perfect match. She would take care of him, and she would oil his wheelchair, and so on. And right now we are in here fighting Alice. Again. Will someone else help us now? Wait, are we fighting ourselves only? That's the first... Oh, Sola ping. Okay, Sola is here, another round. Eddie's flinch as another bullet struck her squarely between the eyes. Sola, watch out! Shattering her sabre and picked up her rifle, gunshots echoed through ensuring as Alice laid down with suppressive fire. Sola rolled to her feet and sprinted across the catwalk, bullets ricocheting off the guardrails. Shields grabbed Alice, giving Sola a chance to find cover. The two struggled as Shields tried to wrest the rifle from Alice's grasp. She suddenly released her grip on the gun and swept her leg across Shields' knees. Lost balance, fell flat on his face, the rifle still slung around Alice's neck. Shit. What the fuck? Whatever. He looked up to come face to face with a gun barrel. Amateur. Shields flinched, gunshot echoed through engineering, but realized he was yet alive. A rifle flew from her hands, now an enormous jackhole bored through its chamber. Target neutralized. Shields capitalized the opportunity to escape. Fisticuffs aren't going to even dent that energy barrier. All I can do is keep the reactor from melting down. So I took aim and sprayed lead on Alice, lighting her energy barrier up with sparks. Okay, someone is having fun with firecrackers right now, and it's annoying. The klaxon sounded above him as the last of the reactors called to uprise. Sweat drenched his arm as the reactor. Okay, come on! Rifle clicked. That's the same as before with other cars actually. Green face. Okay, Captain. Barely spun off the way. Saber smashed against console. Fuck. Sprinted position, smashed the butt of her rifle against Alice's energy shield. In the explosion of spark, the shield repulsed Sola's stack, sending her staggering backwards. Pretender! Alice's face contorted with weak pleasure as she thrusted her blade towards Sola's heart. Sola's eyes ignited, her body twisting out of the way, but it was too late. Shit. Sola fell to her knees, squared by Alice's blade under her collarbone. Alice twisted and turned the blade as Sola's eyes widened with agony. You are but a mockery of the shards of Rubia. Now die like the mongrel you are. Youth! Shields brought down the pipe, Alice's head again. Roy gonna cut down the speeches. Pipe crashed against the shield, feedback into my arm. Okay, mustered strength around Alice, and we are going to burn ourselves with her in the reactor core. That's right. That might be a suicide as well, but I don't care. I will do this, Alice, to protect the ones I love. Doesn't really matter. This would be the funeral pyre. The two arrived at the edge. Are you ready, Alice? We are going to jump to the hellfire. Shields! He gritted teeth and took another step. The arm wrapped around her, and this would be the end. Sorry about this, but something cut through me in my back. And obviously that little piece of crap! But who else would that be, right? It only could be that piece of crap. But somehow she regained control of one arm, and we got the knife and stabbed Alice in the womb, and now she's falling into the fire by herself. And yeah, everything is alright. Now that girl somehow will save the reactor. Not that we couldn't do that by ourselves as well, but right now the more important person is here. We are going to Sola. We crawled to her actually. Despite being covered with wounds, she nodded and gave a thumbs up. A bit. Sola. He wrapped his arms around her. We did it. Just then, Outkill burst in jeering, escorted by ship security. Ah, Captain! Despite their injuries, the two of them struggled to their feet. With grins on their blood-stained faces, Shields and Sola waved. Soon they were both on stretchers, obviously, and she got detained, and She surrendered peacefully because she's no longer controlled by prototypes. Probably. You never know about that. It's not like only Anis could take control of her. After all, there are more of them in the universe. And yeah, no mind stream and so on. Let's continue. Pink hair, alright. Yeah, we did it, Claude. Everything is rewritten now. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Alright, listen to the music now. Truly great music, isn't it? Alright, we are with Ava on the grave of Murray, and also there's grave for the grave of her father, and so on. So yeah, we are having a talk with Murray, or her ghost, more like, and she's happy of Kato being a captain and so on. Alright, let's get to the point where Sola appears up again. As the clamor party suits me. Sola Cordy hid. Actually, 1 second. Instead, his thoughts were about. Okay. Sola Cordy hid out of sight behind a tree, far away from the din of the crowd. Despite the universe being destroyed, Sola and Shield's feelings for each other remained. There was still much Shields had not yet discovered about her past. He still had not to speak of how she had become Shar, or how she had been flung from time. 2000 years into the future? In fact, so much of the girl he now liked was shrouded in mystery. There you are. I remember thinking many similar functions in my timeline. They were thoroughly exhausting events, where men and women alike maneuvered to manipulate me. A single wrong word could very well mean my death. By the end, I was more drained after a social gathering than I would have been if I fought 1,000 of my uncle's ships. I wish I could say that things have changed, but... Shields leaned against the tree, joining Sola in her hiding spot. It doesn't matter. Drawing attention to myself here would only cause complications for you, so I should refrain from taking actions which may expose my true identity to Alliance. Alright, honestly, I beat a hasty exit as soon as I could do. I'd hate to waste an evening at the park with a bunch of cruddy politicians and reporters when I have you to spend it with. Must you always keep speaking such outrageous words? I've always dreamed of coming back here. When I was a child, I went to this bar with my family almost every weekend. We'd all sit right over there. My dad would grill meat on the barbecue, while I ran drawing my sister, our dog chasing after us. She'd held back the tears which began to form his eyes. Even though that's now a thing of the past, being here with you feels almost the same, so... Yeah, perhaps humans are not meant to be alone. While the silence it brings has its own merits, sometimes it hurts to bear your troubles by your lonesome. Sola stood silently. Shields knew that she was in deep reminiscence. No doubt her story was a long and complicated one which had caused her unspeakable grief. He knew that he may never fully heal the scars of Sola's past, but he still felt compelled to stand by her and help lift the burden she carried. Sola, you're not going to be alone anymore, okay? Because from now on, I'll always be with you. Is that the truth? Yep. Captain, you must make promises you cannot keep. Misfortune has always been my shadow. No doubt, many more sorrows wait me. Sola's lips trembled. Are you truly prepared to face what may come? Hey, Sola. Shields lifted her chin with his finger and sealed his promise with a kiss. You are a troublesome man. To pluck the flower of a virgin's lips so casually. Holy crap. 2000 years. Well, she wasn't really living for 2000 years, I mean... She was in a sleep for a very long time. For probably 2000 years. Aside for that, she's a normal age, so let's... Alright. Let's not get too deep into my thoughts. Shields put his arm around her. Look, we've liberated Sierra and beat back Pact. What else could possibly happen now? Captain, please refrain from jinxing the happy ending. I truly cannot live with an uncle of man like you. I fear my sensibilities will be torn asunder in a matter of days. Oh, sorry. I promise I'll behave from now. A true gentleman, I swear. Sola buried herself into his chest. True gentleman, yeah, right. But is it that bold side which I like the best about my captain? It is, okay. As expected, I am truly in love with you. There's no helping it! She closed her eyes as Shield stroked her soft hair. Yeah. Shield felt as if he had gained something very valuable. A precious treasure, which he now needed to protect with all his life. No matter what happened, he would make sure the tragedies of Sola's past never repeated themselves. He swore it with all his heart. Night fell and the two of them returned to their hotel. I know that street! Well, here we are. She slid down and gave a kiss goodbye. Well then, I'll see you tomorrow. Sola hung onto the cuff of Shield's sleeve. Yeah! We are not going to see tomorrow. We are going to see each other right now. Sola leaned against Shield's door, her body trembling with apprehension. To calm her down, Shields wrapped his arms around her and locked their mouths together. Okay. Their tongues gently glided against each other. At first, Sola hardly moved her tongue at all, but Shields gradually coaxed it from her mouth. As their mouths pressed together, Shields was overwhelmed with Sola's bittersweet taste. The aftertaste of distant sadness lingered in his mouth. Determination to wipe away her sorrows welled up in him, making him run his arms into her back, then touch her all over, showering her with affection. Exactly. Sola gasped when he toasted her up by the butt and carried her onto the bed wrapped around him. But... I know but... God damn it. The thing is, why is she back to you right now, if you carried her? Whatever. He put her on top of him and began to unwrap her. Such embarrassment. Nice. Sola trembled and shyly wrapped her arms around her breast as Shields pulled off her clothes, exposing her underwear. Did you change your mind? It's alright to stop. No! I did not mean... do what you wish of me! Whoa, there's no reason to be ashamed. Shields unclipped her bra. Sola whimpered as her bare boobs spilled out into her arms. After all, you look great. Best body I could ask for. Wonderful boobs. Wonderful ass. Shields laughed to himself mostly for Sola's sake. Saying such unspeakable things. Truly, I shall walk out of this room forever ashamed. Shamed, okay. Do as you will. Mark me with your taint so that I may forever become yours. She's making fun of me, isn't she? Yep, she's definitely making fun of me now. He marveled at her perfect architecture, running his palms against her sleek back and coming to rest on her imperial tier ass. He pulled down his trousers. That big thing is supposed to go inside me? Sola's eyes widened with equal parts disbelief and fear. Well, shall we begin? Sola tried her best to force a smile, but it was clear she was nearly chattering her teeth in terror. Alright, as long as we do it slowly, it shouldn't hurt much. Fear not, I'm used to pain. Surely this will be a simple matter next to the other trials I have endured. A simple matter, yeah, a cake run, a turkey shot, She sputtered her ass up and slipped off her panties. Nothing but Sola sat before him. In the end, Shields knew nothing of what Sola was talking about. Her past was shrouded in mystery and her future was still uncertain. Shields had believed that her suffering had ended, that she had escaped her life of being a pawn when she escaped her timeline. Little did he know of how wrong he was. Even this timeline, a dark future awaited her. Ruvia was only big enough for a single shower. Sola would once again become a political tool in a new deadly game. In the end, she was an existence which broke the natural order of the galaxy, and one day, that she would be confronted with the ultimate decision. But that day was not today. Because today, for the first time in her life, Sola felt happiness swell through her body. Even for she knew her happiness would be fleeting, and accepted in her heart that her ending would be bittersweet at best. She was glad to have been loved by Kaito Shields. Alright, so yeah, we ended with Sola. We've got the Sola happy ending. This is not really important here, you know, she's in the brick right now, but who would care about that? We have that dog that looks exactly like the dog we had before, like when he was still a kid, living on Sira, having family, like family by blood, okay? And we have the pilots, obviously, and also a new pilot who we don't know, and it's killing me. I'm telling this, I don't even know which time. Probably as many, I said it as many times as there were endings. Mysterious pilot we don't know about anything. So yeah. Alright, that was Sola's happy end. We have three more endings when it comes to her to get. So yeah, let's end it for now. Hope you enjoyed it and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.